Well, good morning to you. Trucker Todd here, and time for another video. Hope you guys had a great Memorial Day weekend and Memorial Day on Monday. Hope you had a chance to thank a veteran and say a prayer for those that aren't with us anymore or that are overseas protecting our freedoms and liberties. So today, you guys know that I've been looking for another trucking job. I've looked at tons of companies, probably over 50 companies, and a couple have stood out, and I wanted to share one of them with you today. So in this video, I'm going to tell you about a great trucking company I discovered that you need to check out. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into it. But before we do, give me a thumbs up. Share this video on your social media platform. Down below the video, there's a chance to do a super thanks. That really helps the channel a lot if you want to do that. Also, in the description below, there's a lot of great information. And in the comments and the description, I'm going to leave information on how to contact this company, who to talk to, and things like that. So without any further ado, let's fire up the music and get started. Here we go.
And this is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down. Flying by these road signs, with home on my mind, with these wheels turning round. For my family and for my kids, for this life I wanna live. And this is why I do this.
Okay, so let me tell you how we got to where we're at. A friend of mine kept saying, hey, you need to check this company out. They're great. I know some of the people over there, and it's a small company. They got about 60 trucks. They're real family atmosphere. And, I was like, man, I get offers every day to check out trucking companies. I don't want to check out another trucking company. And then when all that stuff happened at the previous company I was at, I started looking at companies, and he kept saying, hey, check them out, Todd. You're really going to like them. So at some point I finally did. And the information I found was so interesting that I took notes, and I'm going to share my notes with you. I was going to do screenshots and show you their website and their advertisements and things like that. But I decided to do it this way instead. I looked on YouTube. Because they're such a small company, there's not a lot of videos on there. Of course, the company I'm talking about, and some of you may have heard of them, is called Church Transportation out of Birmingham, Alabama. Now, what's so special about Church Transportation? I'm going to tell you. Stay with me. All right. So, one thing about them, they mostly haul east of I-35. And as you guys know, I live in Lubbock, Texas. So while they're not a great fit with me, I still gave them some serious consideration, because they could still get me home. But when you're that far outside the hiring area, it's a struggle for them and for me. So I decided the best thing to do regarding this company was recommend them to other guys that live within their hiring area or closer to their hiring area, as I would be about 350 or 400 miles outside of their hiring area. And so I want to tell you all about them. First of all, I went and read some reviews online. You find drivers talking about what a family-like atmosphere it was, how easy it is to talk to somebody. The owner of the company is very involved with the company. If you've got an issue, he's willing to sit down and talk with you. And in trucking, it's really rare to find a company that it's not 50-50 good and bad reviews. This was probably 90-10 in favorable reviews versus not favorable reviews. Of course, you can't please everybody, and no company's perfect. So a 90-10 split is really good when it comes to reviews. Now, they've got all the great benefits that used to every company would offer, but now a lot of companies have let go. I'm talking about your Blue Cross Blue Shield. I'm talking about your 401k, your performance bonuses. They've been around 22 years, so I feel like they're a pretty financially stable company. And they do have a lease purchase option. Now, you guys know, normally I would say just go straight into lease purchase. With a smaller company like this, I'm going to suggest that you start off as a company driver, and I think they'll suggest that too. Get to know their lanes, get to know how they do things, and then proceed into the lease purchase if that's something that you want to do. Now, I mentioned that in previous videos, you know, I always check out the Safer score when I'm researching a company, and there's a lot you can learn about a company by looking at their Safer score. You know, I mentioned they had about 60 trucks. The Safer score showed 55. That's close enough. It can be off a little bit. They've had 75 total inspections that showed on that Safer report. And their vehicle inspections, which this is what gets you pulled behind the scale, things like that, they are 5% below the national average for, you know, their peers basically. So that's great. That tells you a lot about the company right there. That tells you they're taking care of their equipment. That tells you their safety department's good. I mentioned that they do have a lease purchase. That tells you that their lease purchase guys are making money, because lease purchase guys that stop making money, the first thing they do is start neglecting maintenance. So the fact that their vehicle inspections are below the threshold tells you they're doing something right. On their driver inspections, they are half the national average. All right, what does that tell you? That tells you that they've got a proactive safety department that's not, you know, doing bogus stuff, but is watching things, keeping an eye on things, making sure drivers renew their license, have a good medical card, things like that. Another thing that I found out about this company I wanted to share with you before we get back into the Safer score is they have a really low turnover rate. Sure, they'll have a guy here and there that maybe can't get a medical card anymore because of diabetes or something, but they don't have the revolving door like you see at a lot of companies, ironically like the company I just left, where, you know, it's 15, 20 drivers every week going through orientation. They don't have that. Drivers that go there tend to stay there. And I would say to you, if you're looking at church transportation, be a stand-up guy. Don't be a guy that's going to change jobs every 2 weeks. Present yourself in a professional, clean-cut way. You know, don't use profanity around them. Try to be a professional and treat them the way you'd want to be treated. And I think you'll have great success. Get this, hazmat violations. They had 1 inspection, 0 violations. So that tells you, again, they're focused on safety, which is really important. And the fact that their turnover rate's low tells you that they're focused on good communication with the driver. Because let's face it, doesn't matter what company you go to, at some point you're going to have problems. And being able to communicate with that company, sit down with them, work out a solution, is often more important than anything else. As far as pay, things like that, trucks they offer, you guys know I would prefer you contact them for that information, because I'm filming this video on Memorial Day, and you guys might not see this video for 2 years. And so for the latest information, I'm going to ask you to contact Lauren. I'm going to put her information in the comments below this video. I'll pin them up at the top, and then I'll also put them in the description so you can check them out there. Give her a call. Tell her you've been watching Trucker Todd on YouTube and that you want more details. She's not going to pressure you. She's going to answer your questions, email you what you want to know. I talked to her the other day for probably 2 hours, picking her brain, asking her stuff, and the fact that she stayed on the phone that long, answered all my questions, is the main reason I'm willing to do this video. You know, I don't endorse a lot of companies, and when she realized my ultimate decision was to not go there at this time because of location where I live, basically, you know, we left on a cordial basis, And that's why I think you need to call this specific recruiter and talk to her, because she'll give you the answers you want without pressuring you into working somewhere or doing something you don't want to do. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, when you talk to a seasoned driver, let's call them, they're going to tell you work for the smaller companies. Ironically, or not ironically really, but when you think about it, as a general rule, smaller companies have a smaller turnover than larger companies, and there's a reason for that. And I think you'll experience that reason if you give Church Transportation a call. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. We got a lot coming this week, folks. I'm going to reveal where I'm going to work. We'll look at the truck. I'll tell you why I went there. Obviously, it's going to be based on my ability to run the load boards like I've been doing the last 3 years. And it's going to be based on a company that can get me home where I live, that has freight running through my area. But this is definitely not a slacker company. This is definitely a company you're going to be interested in. So check them out and then email me. Let me know what you guys think, or leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear your comments about them, and we'll catch you on the next one. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.